What if Goku mastered Kaioken? This is a weird question to me because technically Kaioken doesn't have a certain threshold as far as mastering it. It's all about the multiplier. We've seen Goku use times 1, 3, 5, and even 10, 20, even sometimes in non-canon formats. But the closer and the higher Goku goes on trying to push his limits through Kaioken, he's been close to killing himself several times, and that's not obviously what he wants to do. So I don't think mastering is really the proper question or terminology for this particular topic. I think it's really about, okay, what is the actual threshold that Goku can push his Kaioken to without killing himself. And again, I think as he continues to get stronger, that threshold is going to continue to expand, and that number is going to continue to go up. But I don't think mastering Kaioken is the same as mastering Super Saiyan or Super Saiyan Blue or even Ultra Instinct for that matter. I think it just depends on the limit, and obviously if Goku doesn't want to kill himself, he's got to
Goku used Kaioken with Ultra Instinct. Now, the idea of this sounds pretty insane, but in reality, when we think about how far Dragon Ball has actually come, it's really not that crazy. I think it comes down to the intensity that Goku is using Kaioken as, because the same conversation for Kaioken applies throughout the series. It's the multiplier that ends up dictating whether or not your body can handle the extra output or not. In Goku's case, he came near close to dying at his fight with Hit back in the earlier days of Dragon Ball Super in that Universe 6, Universe 7 tournament. So again, I think it primarily depends on what multiplier you are using and how far of it you are taking that, and if your body is capable. Obviously, with Goku being much further along in his evolution with Ultra Instinct, I think he could use a low number of Kaioken, but at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if Goku showed up one day in the manga with like a times 20 or times 10 Kaioken with Ultra Instinct. That's just where Dragon Ball has become.
Can Goku achieve the legendary Super Saiyan form? This was a topic proposed to me, and just for the record, if you guys haven't obviously heard, Akira Toriyama has recently passed away. So influential in all of our lives. It's actually been really rough for me within the last 48 hours, but considering that his physical presence will no longer be with us, I'm not really sure how the direction will go with Dragon Ball in the future. But when it comes to achieving a legendary Super Saiyan form, and let's say Goku tried to tap into it the same as Broly, well, we know Broly tapped into his form because of his rage. Now, could Goku be driven to such a point? Maybe if everything he's cared about in his life was bound to be taken away from him, kind of similar to Battle of Gods. And even still, as angry as Goku got, I don't know if it was the same sort of rage that Broly demonstrated, considering how tragic Broly's life and upbringing actually was. So I would say on that merit alone, no. But if Goku is mad enough and he gets pushed to that limit, I suppose it's not impossible, but probably highly unlikely.
Thing that Goku is actually preparing Broly for in the future longevity of Dragon Ball Super. You could tell from the Dragon Ball Super superhero movie that Goku is taking the primary mission in actually training Broly, and Vegeta obviously I'm sure is giving input, but Broly is really under Goku's watch as far as his power and his fighting is concerned. Goku, obviously being the calmest of the bunch, should be the one responsible for training a fighter like Broly in order to develop that level of calmness and be able to control this ki. Goku is doing this because he understands Broly's potential, and he knows in a worst case scenario someday when him and Vegeta aren't able to defeat this foe, Broly is actually going to be the one they can give their energy to, similar to how they did in the Tournament of Power, and that's going to be the difference maker in their survivability.